So today we are looking at the KaOS Linux. So this is the independent Linux distribution with the KDE Plasma desktop environment as the main desktop environment. And the country of origin of a KaOS is the United States of America. So the latest version is 2024.09, which is this one. And let's quickly boot it in the live boot. And when you go in the boot menu options, you should be seeing all the options here like KaOS Live, NVIDIA non-free, boot from hard disk, hardware detection tool, and memory test. So here is the another options like a F1 for help, F2 for the language selection, F3 for the video mode, and F4 for the kernel. So let's quickly boot it in the live boot. So there are a lot of changes in this 2024.09 version of a KaOS. I'm going to discuss all those things as soon as the desktop layout is loaded. So the booting process will take like between 1 or 3 minutes. So it will be different for every Linux distributions. Some distributions will boot up in 1 minute, and some distributions will take like 3 minutes. So this is the stable ISO file, and the release notes is also available. I'm going to mention all those things. And right now I'm running it on the virtual machine, which is VMware, with 60 GB of virtual disk, 8 GB of RAM, and my CPU is i5 1240p. So the country of origin already mentioned, which is the United States of America. So let it load, and the KDE Plasma desktop environment is the desktop environment. And I'm going to show you what version of the KDE Plasma version and Qt version and all those things. So let it load, and we are going to discuss all those things. So here you can see our desktop layout loaded completely. So let's first change the display settings, and we can go through all those things later. Let's first change the display settings, display configuration. My monitor is 1920 x 1080. So the booting process took like a minute and 15 seconds. And let's wait for the display. Here is my resolution, which is 1920 x 1080. Let's click on apply. Keep it. Let's check what are the about the system. Let's go to about the system. And you can see it's a KaOS 2024. KDE Plasma version is 6.1.5. So this is the latest version of the KDE Plasma. And also there is a beta version which is 6.2.0. If you want any information, you can just go to the kde.org website and you should be getting all the information. And KDE Frameworks version you should be getting 6.6.0, Qt version 6.7.2, kernel version 6.10.11-1, and graphics platform is a Wayland. It's not a X11, it's a Wayland. So here is my hardware specs, which I already mentioned. So you get all the most of the latest things here, like a kernel and all those things. But the latest kernel, which is a mainline, is 6.11 version. I'm going to go through all those things after opening the system monitor. So let's close everything. Let's open the. So here is some information like a live boot and all the credentials. Go to the passwords, username and password. And here is the about information of KaOS. So it's an independent Linux distribution. And if you want any information, you can just read everything right here. So every information about the KaOS is available right here. Here is the package list. So these are all the package list, which is around like 1021. So you can pause the video and read everything if you want. So let's open the system monitor to see how much of resources it's consuming. And as you can see, there is like a minor hiccups here and there, like a kind of laggy thing. So it's pretty much common in the virtual machines for some KDE Plasma desktop environments, and also some few Linux distributions will have this type of issues. In the bare metal, it's going to be performing way better. And about the system requirements of the KaOS, I'm going to discuss when we open the browser. So it's consuming like a 1.4 GB, 1.3 GB of RAM, and CPU is pretty much under like a 50%. So here is some information which I already mentioned. These are all the applications running right now. So let it load. So applications right here. So I didn't open any of the applications or anything. I just changed the display setting. That's it. So you need to run like a 60 seconds or a minute to see the graph of the CPU. So if everything is like a stable, then you can consider there is no bugs or anything like that. But if you see like a high peak or anything like that, you should be having some issues with the virtual machines, maybe the Linux distro. So you need to figure it out on yourself. So let it run like a 60 seconds And instead of waiting, let's check the process. So there are a lot of changes in this version I'm going to discuss. So it's going to take a few more seconds for the process. As you can see, there is like a minor lag again. So these are all the process running right now. It should be around like a 270 or 300 like that. I'm going to show you that also. So here you can see all the process. Let's keep it on the overview. Let's check the about system monitor. So 6.1.5. And I'm going to keep the system monitor in the right side corner throughout the video, so you can see all the changes and you can decide on your own whether to use this version or the version or maybe the older version. So you can easily judge it on your own. So let me open the internet browser. So let's first check the pre-installed applications. So these are all the pre-installed applications you get from the KaOS 2024.09. So that's the version or the ISO file version. So you should be getting all those pre-installed applications. Here is a Calligra, which is the new application. So I'm going to show you that also. So let's open first the internet browser, which is a Falcon. So let it load. So here we have the browser. Let's first resize it so you can see the CPU and RAM throughout the video without any issues. So let's make it like this. And again, there is like a kinda heavy lag. Let's check the version. About the Falcon, here is the Falcon version and another version which is a Qt web engine. Version is 6.7.2. Application version of the Falcon is a 24.08.1. And here we have another information like let's go to the about Qt. Here is the Qt version. Here is also the Qt version, which is 6.7.2. So this is the official website of a KaOS. So let's go to the official website. So let's try to type in about support. I know it doesn't work. Let's try it. And here you should be seeing blocked. So let's close it. So here, if you want any information about the KaOS, if you're new for the KaOS, you can just get all the information right here. So they gave all the information right in front of you. So if you want, you can read it from here, or else you can just go to the website, which is KaOS SX. Here is the official website, kaosx.us. Or else you can just type in like a KaOS Linux and the first link will be the official website. However, so let's go to the news, and here you should be seeing the version of the KaOS, which is 2024.09, and all the release note information is right here. So the Plasma desktop, the latest KDE Gear version you get is 24.08.1. All the applications you should be seeing like a Dolphin and all those things, you should be seeing this version. And KDE Plasma version you should be having the 6.1.5, which I already showed, and here is the information. And Frameworks version is 6.6.0 right here, which is already shown, and all built on the Qt6 7.2, already showed that also. Among the many changes included in KDE Gear 24.08, the Dolphin file manager. So new features in the Dolphin are designed to make it easier to access and manage files and folders that requires administrative privileges. And about the console, you should be also seeing the same version. If you need to bookmark something important in a long output, double click and scroll bar to set a position marker. You can then quickly scroll back and locate it later. And about the Kernel, brand new keyframe curve editor to customize effects and easing methods, cubic in out and exponential in out for fades. And more applications are now ready to use Qt6 and Frameworks, the big one now being Calligra. So since Calligra is again actively maintained and developed, it has returned to being the default office suite or KaOS, another one that is now Qt6 based in VirtualBox. So the image here you should be seeing in the installation. I'm going to show you, you don't need to worry about anything. Let's close the image. And the UI of the installer has been updated for quite a few pages. This includes an option to choose either Calligra or LibreOffice as the preferred office suite. You will also see then the bootloader section page and sound backend page are more integrated with Plasma 6 through Kirigami. So there is also now an option in the installer to install with all new file system BCA CHEFS. It is still in experimental stage, so you should be seeing, I'm going to show you, and here is the image also. So it's not the image of the another thing, so I'm going to go through all the installer. So here is the file have implemented yet. So Calamaras, you can use BCA CHEFS when used in manual mode through no specific settings. Among the new packages included is Z, a Rust based code editor. Here I already showed you, a very fast and capable alternative to vscode, and complete independent browser which is a Ladybird. So let's find it. So I'm going to show you that also, and this browser is in pre-alpha state, can be used for simple browsing, and will see a monthly build in the repositories. And what else? Updates to the base of the system include a move to Boost 1.8.05, Ruby 3.3.5, Perl 5.38, kernel move to Linux kernel 6.10.11, systemd version is 253.25, ZFS 2.2.6, KMod 33, OpenSSL is 3.3, FFMPEG 6.1, OpenJDK 17, and Mesa is 24.2.3. And here are the other changes. New Python sound backend is in use. So far VLC was used, but there is no Qt6 porting for VLC yet. Using Phonon and MPV as default now gives a fully Qt6 ready backend. 4 years after being end of life, GTK2 is finally removed from the KaOS repositories. The one major application left that still required is GTK2 was Ardor. But with the 8.4.0 an internal YTK is used, thus GTK2 is now gone. And here is other information. I'm not going to read everything because it's going to make already a video lengthy. So here are the common notes. Here are the other information. I read most important things. And here is some images. If you want, you can click on it and get all the information like a KaOS installer. So let's close it. And here is the Z code editor. And about the downloading, let's close everything. You just need to click on the download, and the ISO files will be available right here. So KaOS 2024.09 current version. Here are all the information, authenticity check, and all those things. So let's click on download. So I'm choosing the KaOS ISO, and it will take directly to the source code website. You can directly search in the KaOS, which is so in the source code website like a KaOS X, and you should be getting all the information and also the downloading. So here is the file. Let's click on download. So you need to see the ISO file is proper or not, or the correct one or not. So version is 2024.09. Let's save it. And here you should be seeing our downloads. So the file size is around like 3.49 GB. So I already downloaded. So let's close everything. So let's open the terminal or the console, and let's type in some commands. Let's keep it on the left side. Let's make it bigger so you can see everything properly. The version should be already mentioned, but let me show you the version also. About console 24.08.1. Here are all the options: full screen mode, say output has, and all the other things like a bookmarks, plugins, settings. So I kept everything. So let's try the new fetch. Hit enter. INXI-SV8. So it's going to give all the information of the distribution. So we are going to go through all those things. So host, it says as a local host because I'm running it on the live boot, and the kernel version is 6.10.11. So I forgot to show you the Linux kernel website. So let me show you, and also the system requirements. Let's open the another tab. Let's close it. Let's type in Linux kernel. Hit enter. And if you want to go to the forums, here are all the forums. Just let it open. So here is the forum and the matrix, KDE community, Falcon store. You can get all the information right here, like a forum. This is the link for the forum. And let's close everything here. And here is the element. Here is the KDE, which is the official website of a KDE, which is kde.org. And about the Falcon browser, here is the information of the Falcon browser. And here is the element. Let's close everything. So the first link or the official website of the Linux kernel is this is the URL, which is www.kernel.org. The main line is 6.11. The kernel version we are right now using is 6.10.11-1. Here you can see, and it's a stable ISO file. So the release date of the 6.10.11 is 2024.09 18th. So it's just a few days back. And here is all information. So if you don't know what's mainline, what's stable and long term, you just need to click on the releases and you should be seeing all those things. If you see RC, it is a release candidate. If you see mainline, here is the mainline information. If you see the stable, you should be seeing the stable information. And if you see the long term, here is all the information of the long term. So the latest version of the long term is 6.6 and end of life is December 2026, which is around like a 2.5 years. So here is all the information. So in order to get the kernel information, just type in like a uname-r or else like a uname-a. You should be getting all the information. And about the KaOS system requirements, let me type in KaOS Linux system requirements. So it has like a KDE desktop environment, so you already know how much of resources you need. Let me type in like this, KaOS Linux system requirements. So here it should be given, or else you can just get all the information from the Google itself. So hardware requirements, here is the hardware requirements. It's an official website. KDE is a modern desktop environment which can make use of most any graphics or a sound card capabilities. This does not mean KDE can't be made to run on a very low-end hardware, but in general there are better options available for such systems. OpenBox, for example. The very minimal needed for hard drive space is a 8 GB, but 25 GB is recommended as a minimal. KaOS Linux will install with a 1 GB of RAM available. Through a much better experience, we'll start with a 2 GB of RAM. Since only x86-64 packages are available, a 64-bit capable CPU is needed. And as with any rolling distribution, updates are frequent and can be large, so a reasonable fast internet connection dial-up will become very cumbersome, and available monthly data of over 2 GB are recommended. So these are all the recommended or the minimum requirements of the KaOS. So we got all the information. Let's close it and let's continue with all this information. So architecture 64-bit, compiler GCC version is 13.2.1, desktop environment KDE Plasma, version is 6.1.5, Qt version it says as not available, here is the version, and frameworks version is 6.6.0, which is also available right here. And here is the Wayland distro, it says as a KaOS 2024, it's an independent Linux distribution. And about the machine, it's just a virtual machine, so which is a VMware, so I'm not going to discuss anything about it. RAM, 8 GB of RAM, available is 7.7 GB, used is 1.59 GB, which is 1.6 GB. And here is some other information like a CPU, which is i5 1240p, which I already mentioned in the beginning. So this is all unnecessary for the video, so I'm just going to skip it, like vulnerabilities and all those things which is unnecessary. And let's go to the graphics part, which is a VMWGFX, version is 2.20, and other things like display is a Wayland, server Xorg 1.21.1.13 with Xwayland version 24.1.2, which is also mentioned in the official website. Monitor resolution, EGL version is 1.5, OpenGL version is 4.5, Compact V is 4.3, Mesa version is 24.2.3, GLX version is 1.4, and here is like a Vulkan information API, Vulkan version is 1.3.295. Here is the LLVM pipe version, which is 18.1.8. And let's go to the audio information. Here is the jack version, which is 1.9.22. Pipewire version is 1.2.4. And pulse audio version is 17.0. And here is like a ELSA version. And these are all unnecessary, which is network, Bluetooth, unmounted drives, repos, and all those things. If you consider it as important, you can just pause the video and read everything. Process running right now is 276. Uptime is almost 15 minutes. Compiler GCC already mentioned. So here is the version. So init systemd version is 253. GCC version already mentioned. Shell bash version 5.2.32. So there is already everything given in the official website itself, and here are all the information. So we got all the information. Let me type in cat /etc/issue. So user live and the root is root. So these are all the username and password. So if you want htop, you can type in htop. So command not found. So these are all the information. So let's now check the installation. Let's go with the Calamares installer. So those were the some distro information in the terminal. So I already showed everything. So let's check the installer. So new changes. Here you should be seeing the about Calamares 3.3. Here is complete information. Let's make it bigger so everything is properly visible. And you can choose the language selection here. So these are all the available languages. There are multiple languages here. So after choosing, click on next. Here you should be seeing the location, or else you can choose the drop down menu. I'm using a VPN, so it should show different location for you. So choose whatever you want. I'm going to choose some random things. And the system language will be set to American English, United States. If you want to change it, you can change it, or else if you want to keep it like that, you can keep it. The numbers and date locales will be set to this language. So you can choose whatever you want. I think this is some different language. Let me choose some English languages here. So everything is changed to something else. So let me try to change it. So if still it's everything in English, so I'm going to continue. Click on next. Here you can choose your keyboard model. So it automatically chooses your keyboard. So if anything is wrong, just keep the keyboard according to your keyboard. So the language or the layout for the keyboard, here is the layout, here is the variant. I kept everything as a default. If you want to test your keyboard, you can test your keyboard right here. After choosing everything, click next. And this is the new option. Please select an option for your install or leave the default Calligra. So here is the packages. So if you want Calligra, you can choose Calligra, LibreOffice, no office suite, and minimal install. So before this was 3 options, right now there is another option. Calligra suite is an office and graphics art suite by KDE. It contains applications for word processing, spreadsheet, presentation, vector graphics, and editing database default. So this is the new thing. If you want to try, you can try it. Click on next. Here is the audio information, and also the installer kinda looks different from the previous version, as you can see. And also options for the pipewire if you want to choose the pipewire, or else if you want to choose the pulse audio, it's clearly up to you. Click next. Here is the partitions. So this one is the single boot. If you don't know how to install the Linux distro, it's better to watch some tutorials in the YouTube. There are like a short videos. So I have like a installation videos, but I never made like a specific installation tutorials because I'll be covering like a desktop features, backgrounds, and all those things. I'll be completely covering everything. So that's the reason I never made a installation tutorials, but I completely made a video. And I also made like a installation videos in the Linux distro. I don't really remember, because I made like a 3000 videos. It's pretty much very hard to remember anything. So that's the reason I'm recommending you to watch some short videos, like a 2 or 3 minute videos. So here is the, I'm just going to show you, or I'm going to just tell you the short information here. So basically erase disk, first you need to choose the installation drive or the installation partition or wherever you want to install. The installation destination, like if you have like a multiple hard disk or a multiple SDA, not SDA, it's a SSD, so choose the specific drive there. And if you want to install as a single boot operating system, like a KaOS as a single operating system, and you need to choose this option. So it's going to delete whatever available in that specific drive, like a operating system, media files, photos, documents, videos, and all those things. So be careful while choosing this option. And here is the options for the swap and all those things. Here are the other things like erase disk options. And manual partitioning is like a dual boot options, like you can dual boot. You should be seeing 2 operating systems in the boot menu. So in order to go with this option, you need to create a partition before that, and the partition will be available right here. So that's the option. So it's better to watch some tutorials of the installation if you don't know how to install. And if you want to encrypt your system, you can encrypt your system by providing both the boxes with the same password. And the current drive will be like this. After installation, it will be like this. Bootloader location, here you should be seeing 3 options. So if you watch the tutorials, you should be good with the options. After clicking on next, here you should be seeing the bootloader, which is group 2 and no bootloader. So it's clearly up to you to choose. So user, so you need to create your user account and all those things. So it says what is your name. I'm going to choose my channel name, 9to5 Linux. What name do you want to use to log in? So you can't use the numericals. If you type in numericals, it should be giving a pop-up like only lowercase letters, numbers, underscores, and hyphens are allowed. So let me choose unboxing. And what is the name of this computer? I'm going to keep it like this, just 9to5 Linux. Choose a password to keep your account safe. I'm going to type in some password, like a 125 password, just for the sake of the video. So it's going to give you information like a password is too short. And here you need to follow the rules of the password and you should be safe. Reuse user password as a root password. So if you don't want, you can type in the password. If you want the same password for the administrator account, just keep it like that. Login automatically without asking for the password. If you want to check it, you can check it. Validate passwords quality. So if you want to test your password quality, you can click on it. So it's pretty much easy. So that's the reason it's going to mention like this. So after clicking on next, here you should be seeing all the summary of whatever you chose in the previous installation. So if anything is wrong, just go back and fix those things. And when you click on install, it's going to take like a few minutes, like a 20 to 25 minutes. So if you have like a recommended requirements, it's going to be very quick. If it's not, then it's going to take a lot of time. So this is a stabilized file. Most of the cases, the installation will not fail. So everything will be working fine. So that was the installation tutorial. So I don't want to install because I need to make another video. So here you can see the resources. And let's check some desktop wallpapers and all those things. So here you should be seeing all the wallpapers available in the KaOS 2024.09. Most of them are from the KDE Plasma desktop environment itself. And this one should be from the KaOS. So you don't get a bunch of wallpapers here, you just get the basic wallpapers, like 1 or 2 from the KaOS and other are completely from the KDE Plasma desktop environment. And about the about section is here is the information. Let's click on OK. Here are some of the desktop features like a date and calendar, the internet connection, and the most recent devices. Here is the volume, the clipboard contents. Here is the console or UEFI. Here is the Octopi notifier. So these are all the applications or the things which are available right here. Here is the lock screen. Here is the power options to turn on, turn off, all those things. Here is the Octopi. Let's check all the information. So as you can see, there is like a hiccups here and there throughout the video. So it should be different in the bare metal. So this is how it's performing. And the Octopi version is 0.16.2, Qt version already mentioned. Pacman version is 6.0.2. So here you should be seeing all the packages and all those things, download size and the versions also. Already showed you about. So let's do a stress test by opening a bunch of applications. Let me open all the applications, like a sticky note also. So already opened. Let's open the Calligra. And what else we have? So I'm going to do a stress test, which is basically opening a bunch of applications to see how much of resource it's going to consume, and also how it's going to perform. Like a not responding signs may pop up and bugs may pop up, like a crashes and all those things. Maybe sometimes the screen will be frozen and all those things. So that's the reason I'm trying to open a few applications to see whether there will be any crashes or anything. So we can judge on these things whether to use this specific version or we can just stay on the older version. And about the updating and all those things, which is already shown in the official website itself. So I don't want to show you everything and make a video lengthy. So let's open the LibreOffice also. So you should be seeing a high peak in the CPU right now because we are opening all the applications at once. So that's the reason it's going to show you a high peak. But when all the applications are opened, you should be seeing the graph stably running. So here is the Carbon. And what else we have to open here? So we pretty much opened all the resource consuming applications. And here is the screen recorder, sorry. And here is the data recovery. So that's it. So we opened a bunch of applications. Let's check the system monitor. Let's make it bigger. So it's going to consume like a 3 GB of RAM. So there are some applications to be opened. So if everything is open, then you should be seeing the RAM stable and also the CPU stable running. Let's go to the applications. So these are all the applications running and this is how they are consuming RAM and CPU. In the history, you should be seeing all the stable graph because all the applications are opened. So the CPU is running right now like this and RAM is almost like a 2.9 GB, 3 GB. So it should be a bit different in the bare metal. It should be consuming less resources and also the user experience may be better when compared to the virtual machines. So if you want to try it, you can try it on your own. So this is the latest version of 2024.09. So if you want to try it, you can try it, and if you try it, do let me know in the comment section so it can be helpful for other users also. So and also say how it's performing, like is there any lag or any crashes or anything. Right now I don't see any crashes or anything like that, but there is like a minor lag, maybe because of the virtual machines. Let's try to switch the applications and see whether there will be any lag. So I can switch to any applications. I don't see any lag or any crashes. Everything is working perfectly. And also I have the good system requirements, way better than recommended system requirements. I have like a 8 GB of RAM. CPU is also like a i5 1240p. So this is the latest CPU. So everything should be performing better in the virtual machines. But if you have like a recommended requirements, you need to let me know in the comment section how it's going to perform. So I already show you the downloading process about the system requirements and all those things, like updating things are already available in the official website. So we covered pretty much everything. There is nothing left right here. So let's try to check the application information and end the video. So I already showed you the Octopi version. And here is the Qt text editor about the Qt. So you should be seeing all the versions with the 24.08.1, which I already mentioned in the official website itself. So let's close the browser. The browser version is already showed. Here is the Croeso. So widget style, Plasma theme, window decoration. So here you can customize according to your wish. So I kept everything as a default. Let's open the Plasma theme. So let it open. And here you should be seeing a major lag. Again, here is the Plasma style. So let's first close all the application in the background. So media player. And let's just keep the customization thing. About the LibreOffice, the version is 24.8. Let's close it. Here is the Heruna. The version is 1.2.0. If you want, you can customize, or if you want to open any files, you can do that. So what else we have? The Dolphin file manager. So there is also new changes in the Dolphin file manager. If you want to check it out, you can check it out on your own. So I'm just going to show you the about Dolphin because I don't want to make a video lengthy. Here is the version. If you want to go to preference, if you want to configure, you can do that. So let's close it. So here is the Calligra words, Calligra stage, Calligra sheets, carbon, and here is the, let me type in the password. Let's check the version first. 4.0.1. Let's close it. Let me type in password. LIVE. So let's try the password. ROOT, which is a root. Here you should be seeing all the information. Let's check on the about. Let's close the application. So I think we pretty much closed every application. So let's customize these things. Window decoration. So if you want to customize to according to wish, you can change it. And here is the mouse behavior. I kept everything as a default. Icon set. So CrowISO is the application. Everything as a default. Virtual desktops. Again, everything is kept default. Screen settings, which I already showed you in the beginning. And the colors. So it's taking a bit of time to open, so I kept everything as a default. So if you want to change, you can change. If you want to change the accent color, you can change. Here is the all schemes if you want new things, and if you want to install from file, you can do that. And we got all those things like a font settings. So here is all the font settings. Let's go to the packages. Web browser, music player, email clients, image manipulation. If you want to install selected packages, you can do that. And the wallpapers, you can download the wallpapers from here. So there are good wallpapers available right here. Here are the docs, like a switching NVIDIA, asking smart, Pacman, additional kernels, KCP forums. On the advanced, you should be seeing the firewall, energy saving, system daemon, network management, and all those things. And here is the about KaOS, and here is the news of the specific version, which I already showed in the beginning. And let's quit it. So we pretty much covered everything, so it's going to be almost like a 30 minutes video already. So that's the reason I didn't show everything, because it's going to make a video way lengthy. I don't want to make a video lengthy because I need to post another video also, because I'll be posting 2 videos daily. So if you want to subscribe, you can subscribe. So as soon as this is posted, this video is posted, then there will be a bit of a time difference, like a 4 or 5 hours to make another video. I'll be posting like after 4 or 5 hours. So it's better to turn on the notification. As soon as the video is posted, you should be getting the notification. So I'll be posting 2 videos daily without missing. I've been doing this from almost like a 6-7 years. So if you want to subscribe, you can subscribe. So this is how it's performed throughout the video. So it should be way different in the bare metal, and also I showed you the recommended requirements. So this is how it's performing. So I'm going to show you the logout screen, and I'm going to end the video. So if you have any topic in your mind, do let me know in the comment section so we can make a video on it. So before commenting, you just need to search the specific topic in my channel, because I cover like a 3000 videos. So I cover like almost every type of Linux distributions. So if I already made a video, don't comment it. But if I didn't make a video on it, do let me know in the comment section. We can make a video on it. So here are the other sessions like a X11, but we used the Wayland. The password is LIVE. For the root, it's the ROOT. So that's the logon screen or the login screen. So thanks for watching. Peace out.